Right, as the youth face off towards a technologically filled future, tonight the opposition Azimio coalition has warned Kenyans to brace for more taxes in the coming financial year as the government seeks to raise more revenue to meet its debt and spending obligations, according to Azimio. Of course, according to Azimio, hard-to-tax sectors will be hit hard, leaving hustlers vulnerable to the whims of the Controller of Budget. The same Controller of Budget, Margaret Nyakango, in a sitting with MPs, warned of increasing taxes that it will not fix revenues. Apollo Kamau reports.
The National Treasury Budget Policy Statement, currently before Parliament, is in the eye of the storm after the opposition Azimio termed it as punitive in its budget projection guidelines in the coming financial year. According to Azimio principles led by Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, the hardest to tax sectors will be the hardest hit, among them the jua kali sector, agriculture and the digital economy.
If the BPS is anything to go by, Kenyans must be ready to tighten their belts because KK regime is coming after them in a second wave of taxes. According to the 2024 Budget Policy Statement, the government plans to raise 2.95 trillion shillings from taxes, an additional 323.5 billion shillings compared to the current financial year. The Controller of Budget, Margaret Nyakango, told MPs the government is unlikely to meet its revenue projections from taxes due to excessive borrowing.
Unless we limit government borrowing, increasing the scope of tax will not increase revenue beyond the optimal point. This is because government borrowing mops out what could have been used for private sector investments. Economic growth is achievable without exerting too much pressure on the existing tax regime.
Between July and December last year, Kenya Revenue Authority collected 1.09 trillion shillings despite the Finance Act 2023 coming into effect. From a target of 2.62 in tax revenues, KRA missed its target by 182.6 billion shillings.
If this trend continues, it is projected that the government will end up spending well over 800 billion on debt interest expense by the end of this financial year.
Despite warnings from the Controller of the Budget for surpassing the debt limit of 55% to the gross domestic product, the government now plans to borrow 753.2 billion shillings from domestic and foreign investors in the coming financial year. Kenya's current debt stands at 11.2 trillion shillings. Apollo Kamau, TV47.